down, the sunset's red and gold. So we follow night and day, follow bravely while we may. When we hear the piper play, o'er the hills and far away. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 o'er the hills and far away.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me, stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo,
He.
you come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I see him now. Stand ho, who's there?
Friends to this crown, and liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Who hath relieved you, honest soldier?
Bernardo, have my place, give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo.
Say what? Is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I've seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching on this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore have I entreated him, along with us, to watch the minutes of the night, that if this apparition should appear again, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story what we have 2 nights seen.
Well, let us hear Bernardo speak on it.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one,
Peace! Break thee off. Look where it comes again.
in the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, Horatio. Speak to it.
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio.
What art thou, that usurps this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak! Speak, I charge thee, speak!
It is gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not this believe, without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dread hour, with martial stalketh it come before our watch.
In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good. Now, tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why this daily cast of brazen cannon? Who is it can inform me?
That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even now appeared before us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked upon by a most emulate pride, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this part of the known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras.
I think it be no other but e'en so. Well may it sort that this portentous figure comes armed through our watch. So like the king that was and is the question of these wars.
But soft below, behold, where it comes again, I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me! If there be any good thing to be done, that may to thee do ease and grace to me. Speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh speak. Or if thou hast abhorred it in thy life, extorted treasures in the womb of the earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk, in death stay and speak. Speak! Speak! Stop it, Marcellus!
Oh, what shall I? Strike it with my partisan?
Do if it will not stand!
'Tis here!
'Tis here!
'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so magnificent, to offer it this show of violence, for it is like the air invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery.
He was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started, like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I have heard the cock, which is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day. And at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine. And of the truth herein, this present object made probation.
It faded on the crowing of the cock. They say that ere against that season comes, wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated, the bird of morning singeth all night long. And then, they say, no spirit dares stir abroad. The nights are wholesome. Then no planets strike, no fairy takes, no witch hath power to charm, so hallowed and gracious is the night.
This I have heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we up our watch, and upon my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For, upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent? We shall acquaint him with it as needful in our loves, fitting our duty.
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we may find him most convenient.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometimes sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. But now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Zane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The hand is not more instrumental to the mouth, the head more native to the heart, than the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess, that duty done. My thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, cousin Hamlet, and my son...
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord, I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and look with thine eye like a friend toward Denmark. Seek not with veiled lids forever thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st, 'tis common, all things must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be so, my seams say so, particularly.
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you must know that your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you, to remain here, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. Stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a fair and loving reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God. God. How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fiant. Hi! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion, to a Satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven to visit her face too roughly, heaven and earth. Must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe. All tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
Very glad to see you well.
Horatio?
Or do I forget myself?
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Oh, my good friend. I'll change that name with you, but what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus.
My good lord.
I'm very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg, Horatio?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
Oh, I would not hear your enemy say so, but what are your affairs in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
Prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Drift, drift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father? Methinks I see my father.
Ah, where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
He was a goodly king. I saw him once.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
King, my father?
Season your admiration a while within the tent here, till I can deliver upon witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
For 2 nights together had these gentlemen, Bernardo and Marcellus, upon their watch in the dead vast and middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them, and in solemn march goes slow and stately by them. This to me in dreadful secrecy did they impart, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, where, as they had delivered both in turn form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. My lord, I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. But once methinks it lifted up its head in motion as if to speak. But then the morning cock crowed loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste and vanished from our sight.
It was very strange.
By my life, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duties to let you know of it.
Indeed, indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
What looked he, frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long.
As one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer, longer.
Not when I saw it.
I will watch tonight, perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace, I pray you will. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall have tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your love, so fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms? All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked, farewell, and sister, as winds give benefit and convoys assistance, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. Violets in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Think it no more. He may love you now, but you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice lies the safety and health of this entire state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it. If with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity, Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affections.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes. Aboard, aboard! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. Yes, my blessing on thee. And these few precepts in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought its act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entry into a quarrel, but being in't, bear it so the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Accept each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can bear, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for the loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. And this above all, to thine own self be true. And it follows then as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
Time invites you. Your servants tend. Go.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is't, Ophelia, he has said to you?
So please you, said something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you. And you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affections.
Affection? You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Marry, I shall teach you. Tender yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of an ill phrase by running it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Ah, fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
And hath given such countenance to his speech as with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Springes to catch woodcocks. I know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. For Lord Hamlet believed this much of him. But he is young, and with a longer tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, disregard his vows, for they are brokers. Breathing like sanctified and pious bawds, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, from this time forth, in plain terms, have you so slander a moment's leisure as to have words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
Shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed? I heard it not. Then it draws near the season in which the spirit held his wont to walk.
What means this, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail and the swaggering upspring reels, but as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus pray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry is't, but to my mind, and though I am native here, to the manor born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance.
Look, my lord, where it comes again!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned, bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable? Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me! Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you go away with it, as if it some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look, is what gentle action it gestures for you to come to a more removed ground. But do not go, my lord.
By no means.
It will not speak, then I'll follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth. Again, I'll follow it.
What if it tempts you towards the flood, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles o'er his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think on it!
It waves me still. Go on. I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Be rude! You shall not go!
Oh, still am I called. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me, I say, away. Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My time is almost come. When I, the sulphurous and tormenting by each flame, must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious ears to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge and you shall do it.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the days mine to pass in fires to the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. Were I not forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose righteous word would harrow up thy soul.
Oh, God.
Listen. Oh, listen, thou defend thy dear father, love.
Oh, God.
Revenge is foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but in this, it's strange, foul, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now Hamlet here is given out, that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. Thus is the whole ear of Denmark by a forged process of my death, rightly abused, but no, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting my father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
I, that incestuous and adulterous beast, who in witchcraft and wit and traitorous guilt, wicked, willful gifts and have the power, so to produce wonders for lust, the will of my most feeling, virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off is there. Shock, methinks I sense the morning air. Please let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with use of cursed heaven in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment. Thus, sleeping, Was I by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off in the blossom of my sin, with no reckoning made, sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head? If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and banded insect. Howsoever thou pursuest this act, take not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to the thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Tell you now at once, if no word shows the master to be near them, dull his unessential fire. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
Remember thee! Aye, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain. Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain! Villain! Smiling, damned villain! One may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure so in Denmark. Now to my word. It is adieu. Adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord!
My lord!
My lord Hamlet!
Heaven preserve him!
So be it.
How is it, my lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you'll reveal it.
We will not, by heaven.
How say you then, what heart of man once thinketh?
But you'll be secret?
Aye, my lord, by heaven.
There's never a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come back from the grave to tell us this.
By right, aha, you are in the right, and so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You as your business and desire shall point you, for every man has business and desire, and for mine own poor part, look you, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I am sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offense, too, touching this vision here. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. And now, my good friends, as you are friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen here tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
My lord, we've already sworn the oath.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear.
Boy, sayest thou so? Art thou there, true penny? Come on, you hear this fellow in the cellarage? Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear.
Hic et ubique. Then we'll shift our ground. Come hither, gentlemen, and once again lay your hands upon my sword. Swear by my sword never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword.
Swear.
Well said, old mole. Canst thou work in the earth so fast? A worthy pioneer. Once more remove, good friend.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at seeing me never shall with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrases, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or if we list to speak, or there be, and if they might, or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear.
Swear.
Rest, perturbed spirit. And so, gentlemen, with all my love, I do give myself to you, and what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. Let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go in together.
Give him this money and these notes, Ronaldo.
I will, my lord.
You would do marvelous wisely, Ronaldo, before you visit him to make inquire of his behavior.
I did intend it.
Well said, very well said. Look you, sir, find me first what danskers are in Paris, and who, and where, how much, what company, what they keep. And by this encompassment and drift of question, finding that they know my son, come you more nearer to the matter than you may touch on it. Take as 'twere distant knowledge of him, as thus. I know his father and his friends, but not him. Do you mark it, Ronaldo?
Very well, my lord.
But not him, you may say. But if it is he I mean, he's very wild, addicted, so and so. And there, lay such forgeries on him as you please. Marry, nothing so rank as to dishonor him. Take heed of that. But such wanton, wild, and usual slips as are common and most known to youth and liberty.
As gaming, my lord?
Aye, drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, drabbing, you may go so far.
That would dishonor.
Faith, no. As you season it in the charge, you must not lay another scandal on him, that he is open to incontinency. That is not my meaning. But
Good.
wherefore should I do this? Marry, I will tell you. You're laying these slight sullies on my son as for a thing a little soiled in the making. Your company in Congress shall you sound. Having ever seen in the predominant crimes the youth you breathe of guilty, he closes thus in consequence, good sir, or sir, or gentlemen, according to the name and appellation of man and country.
Good, my lord.
And then he does this. What was I about to say? By the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
At closes in the consequence.
Closes in the consequence. Aye, Mary. He closes thus. Good sir, I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or t'other day, or then, with so and so. And as you say, there was a gaming, perhaps, or taken in his rouse, perhaps a falling out at tennis. Perchance I saw him enter into a house of sale, vigilicet, a brothel. See you now. Your bait of falsehood takes this carp of truth, and we of wisdom and of means, with windlasses and assays of bias, from indirections find directions out. And so by my previous lecture and advice shall you, my son. You have me, have you not?
Very well, my lord.
God be with you, fare you well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself,
I shall.
and let him ply his music.
Well.
Now, Ophelia.
Oh, my
What's
lord.
the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
And for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
Well, what said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other arm, thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and he seemed to make his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me to the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What? Have you given him any harsh words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I'm sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not scored him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to wreck thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it, sith nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death, which hath put him so far from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and sit so neighbored to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and gather as much from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath talked much of you, and sure I am to men not living to whom he more adheres. If it please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend some time here a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, thy visitation shall be met with such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties, might by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. Now, I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go some of you, bring these gentlemen to where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
My liege, and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time. We're nothing but to waste, night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness its limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness. What else is it to be but mad? But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad let us grant him then. And now remains to find the cause of this effect, or rather the cause of this defect. For this effect, defective, comes by cause, and thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Append. I have a daughter, well, she is mine, who in her duty and obedience hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Well, that's a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. In her most excellent white bosoms, etc.,
Came
etc.
this from Hamlet to
Good
her.
madam, be faithful. I will stay a while. Doubt that the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not aught to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best. Believe it. Adieu. Thine, dear lady, evermore, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter given me, and more above hath she his solicitings as they came back by time and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Young Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star, this must not be. And then I precepts gave her, that she should hide herself from his resort, admit no messengers, accept no tokens. That done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, tale to make, fell into a fast, thence to a sadness, thence to a watch, thence to a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein he now raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, it's very likely.
Hath there been such a time when I have said positively 'tis so, when it proved not?
Not that I know.
Well, take this from this, if this be not so. But if circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid in the very center.
How may we try it further?
You know how he walks sometimes for hours here in the courtyard?
Indeed he does.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then, mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no administrator for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look you, sadly, where the poor wretch comes, reading.
Away, away, I do beseech you both. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, sir?
Excellent well. You're a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
I, sir, to be honest as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
Well, how say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. And yet he knew me not at first. He thought I was a fishmonger. Oh, he is far gone, far gone. Truly, in my youth, I suffered much for love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir, for the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, their faces wrinkled, their eyes perching thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a most plentiful lack of wit, together with all weak hams, all which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, should be as old as I am, if like a crab you could go backward.
Though this be madness, there be method in it. My lord, will you walk out of the air?
And into my grave!
Indeed, that is out of the air, my lord. How pregnant sometimes his replies. Good, my lord, I must humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything that I will more willingly part withal, except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
God be with you, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord!
My most dear lord.
Oh, my excellent good friends! How dost thou, gilded stern? Rosencrantz. Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
happy and that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Oh, then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her private suite.
In the secret parts of Fortune. Ah, most true, she is a strumpet. What's the news?
No, my lord, but the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so.
Why then, 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, and I thank you, and sure, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it a free visitation? Is it your own inclining? Come, deal justly with me. Come, they speak!
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
Well, that you must teach me, but let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, and by what more dear a better proposer could charge you withal, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, then I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
And I will tell you all. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen bolt no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory, this most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculties! How in form and moving! How express and admirable! In action, how like an angel! In apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman, neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, what Lenten entertainment the players might receive of you. We coated them along the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall have tribute of me. What players are they?
Even those who want to take delight in the tragedians of the city.
How chances that they travel? At their residence, both their reputation and profit were better both ways.
I think their inhibition comes by the means of the late innovation.
Well, do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
Aye, my lord.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come then. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. You're welcome, but my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Niggard of question, but of our demands most free in his reply.
Did you assay him?
to any pastime.
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way. Of this we did tell them, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and I believe already have ordered this night to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he did beseech me to entreat your majesties to see and hear the matter.
Oh, with all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
Aye, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear affront Ophelia. The father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope that your good beauties be the cause of Hamlet's wildness. So too shall I hope your virtues be that which brings him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis often said, with devotion's visage and pious workings, we sugar all the devil himself. I see him coming. Come, we must bestow ourselves.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing them, to die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that in the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment, in this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now the fair Ophelia.
Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
My lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have some remembrances of yours, which I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words composed of such sweet breaths as made the gifts more rich. That perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them. And what should such fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are arrant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery, and quickly too. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
For help of sweet heavens!
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him!
I have heard of your paintings too! Well enough! God hath given you one face, and you make yourself another. You cheat, you amble, you lisp, you nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to! I'll no more on it. It has made me mad. I say we will have no more marriages. All those who are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go!
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown! The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down! And I of ladies most dejected and wretched that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see the noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. Oh, woe is me! To have seen what I've seen, to see what I see.
Love. His affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, which for to prevent I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. What think you on it?
It shall do well. And yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? No need to tell us what he said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you will. But if it please you, after the play, have his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. I'll be sconce, so please you, as within the ear of their converse. If she find him not, and he be not from his reason taken, to England send him, or confine him where your mind best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones was not unwatched. Go.
Hark you, Gild and Stern, and you too. At each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouds.
Happily he's the second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. You say right, sir, on Monday morning. 'Twas so indeed.
My lord, I have news for you.
My lord, I have news for you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome.
Actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
The very best actors in all the world, whether for comedy, tragedy, pastoral, historical, tragical, comical, pastoral, historical, tragical, pastoral, historical, comical, poem unlimited, or scene unsung. Seneca could not be too heavy, nor Plautus too light.
Oh, you are welcome, masters! Welcome all! I'm glad to see you. Well, my old friend, thy face is balanced since I saw thee last. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? Come, we'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me out a speech once, but it was never acted, for if it was, not above once. For the play I remembered pleased not the million. Well, one speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it especially where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it lived in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. Oh, out, strumpet fortune!
Out! Out, thou strumpet fortune! All ye gods in general synod, take away her power! Break all the spokes and fellies of her wheel, and bowl the rounded nave down the hill of heaven as low as to the fiend.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on. Calm to Hecuba.
But who had seen the mobled queen?
The mobled queen?
Well, the mobled queen is good.
Oh.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bis and rheum, a clout about the head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe round her lank and o'er-teemed loins a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen 'gainst fortune's state would, with tongue in venom steeped, would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milk the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods.
Look how he hath not changed his colour, and has tears in his eyes. Pray you no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak the rest out soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of our time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I shall use them according to their deserts.
Oh, gods, bodykins, man, much better! Use them after your own honor and dignity. Use every man after his desert, and who should escape whipping? The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll have a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Could you play the murder of Gonzaga?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, we'll have it tomorrow night. You could for a need study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord. And look you, mock him not. Oh, my friends, I'll leave you till tonight. You are welcome to Elsinore. My lord. I so, God be with you. Now I am alone.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I! Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage wand, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him? Or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze, indeed, the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like John o' Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing, no, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs. Say, who does me this? Huh? Swoons, I should take it, for it cannot be, for I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the regions, cut with this slave's awful, bloody body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a-cursing like a very drab, a scullion, fie upon it, fall about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tempt him to the quick, and if he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I hath seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yeah, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have cause more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Good gentles, with your kind permission, the time has come for intermission. Relax, converse, be of good cheer, refreshments beckon from the rear. Tasty, succulent, and affordable, we also offer potties portable. But when you hear musicians sound, come hither to this sylvan round. 'Tis time then to resume your pews. Our second act forthwith ensues.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had as leave the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gently, for in the very tempest, and as I may say, the whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
I'll warrant your honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature, for anything so or done is from the purpose of playing, whose end both at the first and now was and is to hold as 'twere a mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and at the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Go, make you ready. How now, my lord, will the king hear this piece of work?
I, the queen too, and presently.
Bid the players make haste. Will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
Oh, what ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art even as just a man as ere my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee that no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? Dost thou hear? For thou hast been as one, in suffering all that suffers nothing, a man that fortune's buffets and rewards hath taken with equal thanks. And blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger to sound what stop she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen. Give him heedful note, for I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught the whilst the play is playing and scape detecting, I shall pay the theft.
Oh, they are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares cousin Hamlet?
Excellent, in faith, of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot feed capons, though.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. Oh, you played once in the university, you say, sir?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
No. Good mother, here's metal more attractive.
Oh, how mark you that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Do I?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, God, you're only jig maker, for what should a man do but be merry? For look you, how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Why then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh, heavens! Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet? Then there's hope. A great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
What means this, my lord?
Mary, this is mishing malako. It means mischief.
They like to show him the argument of the play.
We shall know by this fellow. The players cannot keep counsel. They'll tell all.
You are not, you are not. I'll mark the play.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is that a prologue or the posy of a ring?
Grief, my lord.
As woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune's salt wash and Tellus' orbed ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen around the world times 12 30's been, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite together in commutal bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count, or ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too my operant powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honoured, beloved, and haply one as kind shalt thou for us.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
I do believe you think now what you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. Purpose is but the slave to memory of violent birth, but short validity. Our wills and fates do so contrary run that our devices often are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends not our own. So think thou wilt no other husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to me give food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lock from me day and night. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
If she should break that now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady protests too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
Oh, no, they do but jest. Poison and jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Mary Hal, tropically, this play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name, his wife, Baptista, you shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that, your majesty, and we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the galled jade wince, our withers are unwrung. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
I could interpret between you and your love if I could see the puppets dallying.
You are keen, my lord, you are keen.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, on wholesome life usurp immediately.
The king rises.
What? Frighted with false fire?
Give me some light. Away.
Light!
Why let the stricken deer go weep, the heart on galled play? For some must watch, for some must sleep, so runs the world away. Oh, Horatio, I'll take that ghost word for 1,000 pounds. 'Tis proceed.
I did very well.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note him, my lord.
Come, some music! Come, the recorders! For if the king like not the comedy, why then be like he likes it not purdy? Come, some music!
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir.
Aye, sir, what of him?
Is in his retirement marvelous distempered.
With drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You're welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make, you shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother, therefore no more, but to the matter, my mother, you say.
The queen desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lord. What's the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to a friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be, when you have the voice of the king himself to your succession in Denmark?
Aye, sir, but while the grass grows... The proverb is something musty. To withdraw it with you. Why do you go about to recover the wind of me as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these messages with your fingers and thumbs, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stop,
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is much music. Excellent voice in this little organ, but cannot you make it speak? Splut! Do you think I'm easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by.
I will tell her.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friend. "'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft now to my mother, oh heart, lose not thy nature, let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, but not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My thoughts and soul in this be hypocrites, how in my words, so ever she be shent to give them seals, never my soul consent.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so dangerous that doth hourly grow out of his lunacies.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this spear, which goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. I warrant you she'll tax him home. Behind an arras I'll convey myself to hear the matter. I'll call on you ere I go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, I not. Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. What? This hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood. Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? My fault is past, but oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, my own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? Try what repentance can, what can it not? But what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state, bosom black as death, O limed soul that's struggling to be free, thou art more engaged. Help, angels, make essay. Thou, stubborn knees and heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scant. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father, grossly, full of bread, with his crimes broad blown, as flush as May, and how his audit stands, who knows save heaven, but in our circumstance, and our course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged, to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up, sword, and know thou more horrid hence, when he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes, my mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come presently. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him that his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and you yourself have stood between much heat and him. I'll sconce me even here. Look you, lay home to him.
Mother, mother, mother!
I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdrawal, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Hast thou forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Oh, come and sit you down! Till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Wilt thou murder me? Help! Help! Ho!
What ho? Help! Help! Help!
How now? A rat! Dead for a ducat! Dead!
I'm slain!
What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed! Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
My lady, 'twas my word! Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool! Farewell! I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou find'st to be too busy some danger. Leave wringing of your head. Peace. Sit you down. And let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not brassed it so that it be proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage as as dicer's oath.
I know act that roars so loud and thunders in the distance.
Look you here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, a combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. And look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame, it's humble, and it waits upon the judgment. But what judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame! Where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast turned mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and ingrained spots as will not lose their taste.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an in-seamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
No more, Hamlet, thy words like daggers in mine ears.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord. A king of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
This visitation is but whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits, set between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest body, strongest grows. Talk to her, Hamlet.
How is with you, lady?
How is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air hold discourse. Oh, gentle, gentle son, on the heat and flames of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look you, how pale he glares! His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you! There! Look how it steals away! My father! In his habit as he lived! Look where he goes! Even now out of the portal!
This is the very coinage of thy brain. This bodiless creation is very cunning in
ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come, but do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
I'll throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue, if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. Once more, good night, and when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
Not this.
By no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, or let him for a pair of cheek kisses or the paddling in your neck with his damned fingers make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know.
Be thou assured, if words have breath, and breath have life, I have no life to breathe, that what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that?
I alack, it is so concluded on.
There's letters sealed in my 2 schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adder's fang. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. So again, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate, 'tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Bestow this place on us a while. Oh, my lord, what I have seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, hearing behind the arras a sound, he whips out his rapier, he cries, a rat, and in his brainless apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, vile deed! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this vile deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained it out of haunt this mad young man. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his madness, like some ore of minerals, metals base, shows itself pure, he weeps for what he has done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness has Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, hasten this. Gertrude, come. We'll call up our wisest friends, and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
My lord!
Go! Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves. For maggots, your bloat king and lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where's Polonius?
In heaven! Ah, sent thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind it help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them, but come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Mother and father is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so, my mother. Come, for England.
Follow him at foot, tempt him with speed aboard, delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you, make haste. And England, if thou, my love, holdest at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys are ne'er begun.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purposed, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Oh, who commands them, sir?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes he against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, they go to gain a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5! I would not farm it. Nor will it yield to Norway or the Pole a ranker rate should it be sold in fee.
Well, then the Polak never will defend it.
Yes, it is already garrisoned.
2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw.
Will it please you go, my lord?
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse looking before and after gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fasten us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which quartered hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know why yet I live to say this thing's to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell, rightly to be great, is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw, when honor's at the stake. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate and need distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What will she have? She speaks much of her father. Says she hears there's tricks in the world and hems and beats her heart. burns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense, her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself, fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon.
Oh, gentle lady, what imports this
Nay,
song?
pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia,
pray you mark. Wide his shroud as the mountain snow, lauded with sweet flowers, which bewept to the grave did go with true love showers.
Alas, my lord, look you here.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God yield you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. So up he rose and donned his clothes and up the chamber door, let in a maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia?
Indeed, la, without an oath I'll make an end on it. By Gis and by Saint Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So would I had done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I pray all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother will know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night!
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he, most violent author of his own just remove. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures, or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzards to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
What noise is that?
Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. What's the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean, overpeering of his list, eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than young Laertes in a riotous head overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king.
The doors are broke.
Where is this king? O thou vile king, give me my father.
Calmly, good Laert.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Christ cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here, between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep at what it would, acts little of his will. Let him go, Gertrude. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Speak, man!
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his bill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance. Vows to the blackest devil. Conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Good Laertes, now who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world, and for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your father's death, if it's written in your revenge that swoop stick you shall draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends, thus wide I'll open my arms, and like the kind, life-rendering pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why, now, you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
My lady, my lady!
How now? What noise is that? Oh, heat! Try up my brains, oh, rose of maid! Dear maid, kind sisters, sweet Ophelia! Oh, heaven! Is it possible a young maid's wit should be as moral as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nonny, nonny, hey, nonny, and in his grave read many a tear. Fare thee well, my dove.
Thou hadst thy wits and didst persuade revenge. It could not move thus.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts.
A document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you, and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it Herbagreso Sundays. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They said he made a good end. But bonny sweet robin is all of my joy.
Patterns of thoughts and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? Oh no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul, and to all Christian souls I pray God. God be with ye.
Do you see this, oh God?
Laertes, you must let me commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of your wisest friends whom you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If they find us by collateral or direct hand touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we can, ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, or hatchment o'er his bones. No noble rites, no formal consultation, cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
What are they that would speak?
A sailor. He says he has letters for you.
Let him come in. I do not know from what part of the world I should be. From Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee also.
He shall, and to please him. There's a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador that is bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am led to know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give this fellow some means to the king. He has letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the moment they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they know what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have these letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. This good fellow will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell, he that thou knowest thine. Hamlet. Come, I will make you way for these your letters, and do it the speedier, that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now, must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith have you heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul that, as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive why to a public count I might not go is the great love the general gender bear him.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven to desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think we are made of stuff so flat and dull, that we may let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves. And that, I hope, will teach you to understand that... How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord. They say I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. Mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall first, asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet.
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. And in the postscript there it says alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather, if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Hamlet comes back. What would you do, father, son, in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church!
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds, but good Laertes, will you do this? Stay close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you in fine together and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it. No cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that a virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, so that if I gall him slightly, it may mean death.
Let's further think on this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, if this should blast it proof, soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings. A hat. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he escape, by chance your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow grows at a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, which liberal shepherds do give a grosser name, but that our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke. Down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like bore her up a while, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one native unto that element, or as a creature endued into it. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, and she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But it is our trick, nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze. But that this folly doubts it.
Gertrude, let's follow. What I had to do to calm his rage, now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, and therefore I make her grave straight. The counter has sat on it and finds Christian burial.
How can it be? Unless she drown herself in her own defense.
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be say offendendo. It cannot be else, for here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches, that is, to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
What is this law?
Aye, Crowner's Quest law.
Oh, we have the truth on it. If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out a Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves than they're even Christian. Come, my spade. There are no ancient gentlemen, but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers, for they uphold Adam's profession.
Oh, is he a gentleman?
First ever that bore arms.
I am.
Art a heathen? How does understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
Who is it who builds stronger than the carpenter, the shipwright, or the mason?
The gallows maker, but that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well, in faith. The gallows does well. But how does it well? The gallows does well to those that do it. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows may do well to thee. Do it again, come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Tell me that, and unyoke.
Marry then, I can tell.
To it.
Oh, mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for thy dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say, a grave maker, for the houses he builds last till doomsday. Go, fetch me a stoop of liquor.
Sucker.
In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet to confess, oh, the time for my beloved, methought it was not.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made him the property of easiness.
Tis even so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. I'll speak to this fellow. Hey, whose grave is that, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
Oh, I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Thou liest not in it, therefore it is not yours. For mine own part, though I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
Oh, no man, sir.
What woman, then?
None neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she is dead.
How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the day our late King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Can you not tell that? Any fool can tell that. 'Twas the very day young Hamlet was born, he that is mad and sent to England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There all the men are as mad as he.
Well, how came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faithy, in losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, for 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Well, if he be not rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 or 9 years. This skull has laid in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoreson mad fellow. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish over my head once. This skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In this.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick.
I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath bore me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is, my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen? Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. But soft. But soft. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warrantous. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command or sway the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged to the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead if we sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweet to the sweet. Farewell. I had thought that thou shouldst be my Hamlet's wife. I had hoped to deck thy bride bed, not to have strewn thy grave.
O treble woe, fall 10 times treble on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I've caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose praise of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the dead.
The devil take thy soul!
Thou prayest not well, I prithee take thy fingers from my throat! Though I am not splendid and rash, yet have I something in me dangerous, which let thy wiseness fear. Hold off thy hand!
Pluck them asunder!
Hamlet, Hamlet!
Good my lord, be quiet! Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag!
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia! 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Swoons, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up Esau, eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with weeping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I.
This is mere madness.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, follow him. Wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch upon your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceedings be.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep rashly, and praise be rashness for it. Let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do fall, and that should teach us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me in the dark, groped I to find out them, had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold my fears forgetting manners to unseal their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, O royal knavery, an exact command that on the supervised no leisure baited, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure, but wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, that upon the view and knowing of these contents he should the bearers put to sudden death, not striving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the very model of that Danish seal, folded the writ up in form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and what to this was sequent thou knowest already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not think thee? Stand me now upon he that hath killed my king, and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cousinage? Is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short, the interim is mine, but I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his.
A peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit, but put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, it is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet, methinks it is very sultry and hot for my
Exceedingly,
complexion.
my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere, I cannot tell how. But, good my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he hath laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, my good liege, for mine's sake, in good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of most soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorially would dizzy the arithmetic of memory.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The consonancy, sir, why do we wrap the gentleman in our moral breath?
Sir?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue? You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is already empty, all's golden words are spent.
Of him, sir?
I know your lordship is not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, yet in faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
I know your lordship is not ignorant of the excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence, but to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon, for in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
Well, that's two of his weapons, but, well...
The king hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath weighed on 12 for 9, and it shall come to immediate trial if your lordship will vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, sir, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall if it please his majesty. 'Tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you e'en so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. He does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for his turn.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went to France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart, but it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither. Say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. But since no man knows aught of what he leaves, what is it to leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come. Take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir, that I have done you wrong, but pardon it as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with sore distraction. What I have done, that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my definement from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, for I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will have no reconcilement, till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace. But till that time, I receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes, and mine ignorance. Your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Hamlet, you know the wager?
Oh, very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all length.
Aye, my good lord.
Place the stoops of wine upon the table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit upon the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better health, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cup. Now, the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord.
One!
No!
Judgment!
I hit! A very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while.
Come.
Another hit! What say you?
A touch. A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
He's hot and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take this napkin, wipe thy brow. The queen carouses to your good fortune, Hamlet.
Good matter.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray you. Pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. Alas, it is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by.
Here, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes, you do but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so. Come on.
Nothing, neither way.
How about you now?
Mark them, they are incensed.
Nay, come again!
Look to the queen there, Ho. They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it with you, Laertes?
Like a woodcock to mine own springe, Osric. I am justly killed by mine own treachery.
What does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, no, they drink. They drink. Oh, Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned.
Ah! Villainy! Ho! Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out! It is here! Hamlet! Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice has turned itself on me, lo. There I lie, never to rise again. My mother's poisoned, I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point in venom too, and then venom to thy work!
Yet, help me, friends, I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damn the day, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. In exchange for forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet, mine and my father's doth lie not upon thee, nor thine upon me. Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee.
Horatio, I am dead. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. There's yet... I am more antique Roman than Dane. There's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. By heaven, I'll have it. Oh, Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story, the rest is silence. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.